Getting my stuff into a store is so exciting, but I don't want to get ahead of myself and automatically just assume everything is going to do amazing. I'm really looking forward to learning from being in my first store and being able to take that so I can expand into other stores. This week, I'm going to take you along as I set up in the store, give you my thoughts along the way, and just show you what I've been up to as I continue to build our 3D printing business. My name is Ashley, and I have already built a six-figure bakery from my home. Now I am taking what I learned to build that business to build this business, but this time I'm taking you along with me so that you too can build a small business from home. I think everybody should be a business owner as it allows you some flexibility to bring in more income. So if that sounds good to you, then stick around. Let's get into it. Hello everybody. The A1 Mini is fixed, which is fantastic. And let me show you just what I've got going on today. I just started with a couple simple prints. I have these cute little narwhal. They were done in the winter gradient. I really like that gradient. And then I also have these just basic baby T-Rex. Really cute. Both of these super simple prints since there's only a couple colors in them. And this one uses the Airy One matte gradient. This one is called Shire. They have some nice gradients too. I like their filament. I've been using it for quite a while. I'm just going to keep going, as I had said before, in making these more basic, really simple, because of the price point that they can be sold at. And I want to get some really low price point items going before my next market. So that is where I'm focusing now, is on not only prepping the store, but prepping for that market, because a lot of the stock that I had is really running low. So I need to refresh it, obviously get some new stuff going out there, and think about what's going to be popular for this next market. Okay, I'm just going to chat for a minute while I drive. I am on my way to the store right now to go drop everything off. So I will show you what everything looks like once I get it set up on the shelf. I think I've come up with a fairly good way of pricing them. It's just all individual little tiny tags with strings that I've been able to tie to each one. And the hardest thing that I found about this is I've had the bakery items in, I think, 4 stores. And that was easy because it's 10 chocolate dipped licorice, 10 chocolate dipped pretzels, there's chocolate covered Oreos, right? There's different things like that. But when I'm keeping track of the quantity to know the inventory that I'm dropping off, it's obviously a lot easier. Whereas with the 3D prints, there's so many different things that I'm dropping off. There's only one of it. Some, there's two of it, but most are just one. So because I was really short on time, what I did is after I got everything priced, I just laid it all out on the floor and I took pictures of everything, because I want to be able to put together a spreadsheet where I can put in exactly what I dropped off at the store and the quantities and the price that's on them, and then I can track what isn't selling. I'm quite positive I have too much stuff for the shelf, but I would rather come with too much than not enough. And again, because the bakery is so busy right now, I'm doing 14, 16-hour days in the bakery. Because it's so busy in there right now, I'm trying not to stress out about exactly how the shelf's going to go for the first week. So my thought is, today's the first day to start. You'll be seeing this video almost a week after this. So today's April 1st. It's the start of the contract. So my thought is that if I just get there, I can really see the shelf space and I'll put as much on it as I can. I have 3 birdhouses, I believe, in my bin. I'll probably only get one on the shelf, but my hopes is that I'll give the other 2 to the staff and that they can put them on displays around the store, because part of the contract was agreeing to let them use items in displays around the store. That's wonderful for me. I'm totally happy to do that. So I'm going to fill up the shelf and make it look as good as I possibly can. And if I got to go back in a week, I'd be happy to come back in a week and bring more stuff. I was considering delaying until after Easter, but there are a lot of parents who will go out to purchase little things to add to their kids' Easter basket. So I wanted to capitalize on that and get in there today. But if I have to make the half an hour drive each way back in a week to reorganize the shelf and put more things on it, then I will do that, because I will have so much more time in a week than what I have right now. And speaking about the time that I'm going to have after this weekend, I'm actually really looking forward to that. The way that I do my bakery, and this is the great thing about running your own business, is that I really load up my work in the cooler months. I live in Ontario, Canada. It's quite chilly here in the winters. We had a lot of snow this winter. There was snow on the ground from a few days after Christmas until 3 weeks ago. It did not go away this year. But I am not a cold weather person. I don't like the cold. I don't like being out in the cold. So I really load up a lot of what I will take in the bakery in the cold months. And with the holidays, like, people really want to buy that stuff, especially November, December. So my busy season is truly like October until Easter. Okay. There's still obviously like Mother's Day, Father's Day, and graduation, but neither of those three things are anywhere near as busy as Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, and then even all the little celebrations that people have in there. So that's my busiest time of year. I'm still busy in terms of custom orders and all that kind of stuff, May and June, but I really take on a lot less in July and August, and that is by choice. I want to be outside where it's nice and warm. There's a lot of bakers that really load themselves up in the summer because it's wedding season. That's not my thing. I don't want to do that. I take only a handful of wedding orders every single year because I want to be at the trailer with my kids. I want to be outside. So I balance out my year differently. With that being said, about to slow down a little bit in the bakery, I'm really looking forward to actually being able to get into the 3D printing business more. What I mean is, I'm really looking forward to diving into Blender more. I've been working with other things. I have been looking at plasticity a little bit. I'm really looking into all of the amazing things that are on the Maker World website because there's just so many different free things that you can do on there. And obviously, I'm playing around with some of the different AI programs that are out there now, too, where you can make an image and then bring it into the AI modeler and see where to go from there. So, all different ways to be able to ultimately be making my own models. And I'm happy to have more time to be able to do that and just to be able to really see where the business can go and grow in preparation for the end of the year. I also put together my own market in my town twice a year, happens once in the spring and once in the fall. So that market for me is on May 22nd, which means that I've got to get a whole bunch of stuff ready for that. So I need to be working on more prints to be able to fill my bins back up because my bins are getting quite low actually, and just some different prints. I'm really looking forward to that market because it is such a good one. Pro tip, if you don't have markets in your area that are good or that you want to do, arrange your own market. This is the fifth spring market. I think I have done this market a total of 10 times now, and it started just in my driveway as a little pop-up for my bakery. I started to invite other businesses and it grew, and we ended up moving locations so that there would be more space for more businesses. I don't actually charge the vendors any fee to participate. I ask them to make a donation in the amount of $20 to $25 of a product from their business that then goes into a giveaway. So anybody who comes to the market makes a purchase at any of the vendors, they get a draw ticket, and then they take that draw ticket and they can put it in the basket. And at the end of the night, I do a live on the Instagram account for that market and I draw the ticket for the winner. And it normally ends up being $450 worth of stuff. I was pleasantly surprised that I got to actually have a bigger shelf than what I was initially going to get. I only paid for a half a shelf, which meant a pretty small space. But since the store is under new ownership and is just trying to get off the ground, they had a few empty shelves and she had let me expand to take on a full one. That was definitely needed so that I could display all of my birdhouses and the different flexies and just everything that I brought. Each item was priced with a small tag that had a string attached to it so that it could tie right on. I didn't want to use a label because I was worried that the labels could be peeled off. And I was considering a color coding system, but then that would put more on the store employees to make sure that they understood that color coding system and had it remembered. This way was a lot easier for me. So not only was it busy just with getting everything ready to get dropped off to the store, along with it being mixed in, but then trying to figure out behind the scenes of exactly how all that was going to work in terms of pricing and keeping track of inventory. But I think I've got that all figured out pretty good. Hello, everybody. So let's get a little bit caught up on what has been happening in here. Right now, on the first A1, I'm printing some little astronauts, very in with what's happening right now in the world, and they just landed back to Earth. The first five here on the right have magnets in them, as you can see. I have had a couple people ask me how I do that. If you want to know, I can do a tutorial video on it. Just drop that in the comments below so that I know that it's something that'll be helpful to people. And then these four are just going to be flexies. Over here, I'm working on a project actually for my outdoor gardens. So I am using some PETG. This is one of the really great things about 3D printing is you can get the exact look that you want. I have been using these different borders around my garden for a few years, but I'm not happy with them. They're shorter than I want, they're wider than I want. So these are going to be skinnier and taller. And yes, it's going to take a lot of time to get them done, but it's exactly what I want. And I know that they're going to last me for quite a while. So I will keep you guys up on that project as it goes. And then I did do another birdhouse. You can see over here. And we've had lots of other stuff going on too. I just haven't been able to get in here to record it. I will let you know what else I get up to after these astronauts are done. One of the things that I've been playing with in my mind lately when it comes to growing the business is when is the right time to introduce a new printer? I would love to add a fourth printer, but I really want a tool changer. And I obviously had been looking at the Snapmaker U1, which so many people are talking about right now. Then I got an email from FlashForge talking about their tool changer that's coming to market. If you haven't been here from the beginning, I actually started with the FlashForge 5M Pro. And the only reason I got rid of it is because it wasn't multicolor and I really wanted to print multicolor. So I had sold it pretty quick after buying it within about, I think about a month or a month and a half, and got my first A1 with the AMS. I loved the printer. It was really fast. The prints were really clean. It was a great model, but the 85X didn't exist yet. So they didn't have a multicolor machine. Now they have come out with the C5 and even introduced the C5 Pro that's fully enclosed and it's a tool changer. And to me, that's a game changer because while the Snapmaker U1 seems like a great product, it's so hard for me to swallow some of these price points because I'm Canadian and we get just crushed when it comes to the dollar exchange. So the FlashForge has a way better price point for me in terms of making that investment for a fourth machine and what I'm going to get out of it. And right now they're running a program where you can get in on the early release and the initial pricing by just going in with a $10 deposit until April 19th. So I'm going to drop two links below for you guys. One if you live in Canada, one if you live in the US, so that you can go and check out the machines yourself, see what they have. Maybe they're a fit for you. I do think that tool changers are going to change the game when it comes to 3D printing. And the fact that I could reduce not only my print time, but the filament waste is so huge for me. So definitely, if you're thinking about adding a new printer or getting your first printer, think about a tool changer because it's going to allow you to do multicolor prints way quicker and way cheaper. Good morning. One last video here before I will edit this to get it out to YouTube later on, just showing you what I'm up to. So on this printer, I've got Angel from Stitch going. The top six there are just regular flexies, and then the bottom five are magnets. I'm actually really unhappy with how the astronauts came out. I did the masks in silver because I just thought it would look a lot better, and it does not. So unfortunately, I will be redoing these in black. And then over here, I am just working on a Gary head from Zootopia. My kids are big fans of Zootopia, as am I, but I'm going to make a long flexi Gary. He's got quite a big head, so we'll see how big he ends up being in total when he finishes printing. I really hope you all enjoyed coming along with me this week while I got everything set up. I really loved this experience, and now I'm just so excited to try and find another storefront to get into. In the meantime, though, I do have to keep on printing in order to prepare for the night market that I put together and I have coming up on May 22nd. There's so much work to do before that. I want to get new prints that I've never had before. I want to be able to work on my display, and I'm going to show you guys all of that along the way because if you do local markets, it will definitely be helpful for you. Drop a comment below and let me know, do you sell at markets? Do you sell online? Or do you have space in a store like I now have? Tell me how that's working for you. Don't forget to hit like, and I would love it if you hit the subscribe button, as this is still a fairly new channel. It's growing really well. I love all the interaction I'm getting with you guys. I do personally reply to every single comment and I help out as much as I can. So make sure that you drop your comments below if you're ever stuck, and I'm happy to help you grow your business. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy printing!